All the way live. Get ready for America's #1 funny man. Funny man. What? Hey. All the way live. Make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, from LA to New York, Chicago to Mississippi, let's give it up for America's #1 funny man, Rodney.
We are live. What's up, party people? My name is Rodney Perry, and you're tuned into Rodney Perry Live. We are indeed live this Monday morning. That man, the little bald-head black man on the show, is Rodney Perry, and that lady over there is Shani Scott on air. How are you, Shani?
Good morning. I am great. It's Monday, the last week of school for my kids, so I'm really happy.
This is the last week for my daughter as well. I just took her to school this morning. It's raining here in Georgia. What y'all looking like out there in the D?
It is misting, so that means that we're probably going to have some rain come, which is a good thing because it cooled off everything.
That's when you know you old, when you start talking about the damn weather. You know it's gonna rain tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know,
my joints hurting.
Yeah, while you playing, my knee been bothering me for 2 days, so that's what it is. Also, I'm excited about the show today. One thing we try to do every day. I have my comedic co-hosts. They're rocking here, man. And over the pandemic, I had the pleasure of meeting this young lady. She's so dope. From the D. She's a filmmaker, she's a writer, she's a producer. She's kind of everything. She's generous as all get out. Welcome to the show, my homie Heather J in the building.
Hey, hi, everybody. Hi.
What's up, Heather? How are you? Your hair is big.
Yeah, this year. I woke up like this.
It looks good.
It is very fly.
Trying to cover these dark circles we have from not getting enough sleep last night. As the bangs grow, eventually they cover your face.
hey, yo. Now, do you do color? Because I know Shani didn't bust up in here with the highlights. Do you do color?
When I want to color my hair, I just do weave.
Or just throw a whole different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Yeah. That's the thing about women. Y'all can take and change everything. Mm-hmm. Like you can be as tall as you want. You can be as cute as you want with makeup. You can throw a whole different head of hair on. You can get nails. And don't get me wrong, I ain't trying to wear no makeup. But when I have wore makeup, I be like, I should do this every day.
Now you see why we like it.
I'm like, who is this? This like, I've seen women that literally look completely different. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, are you the same? Word. Perfect. All right, now, my other co-host is an absolute legend. Let me tell you something, Heather J. When I was a Rudy Pooch, this man was already working comedian, he was gone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. My man, Bo P. Barnes in the building. What's up, Bo P?
Oh, there. Ho. What's up, man?
Thank you, bro, for coming on. Turn your phone sideways so we can get your whole face in there.
Say my head big? Try to say my head is big or something?
I didn't want to say nothing, but I'm glad you said it. So, hey, Bo P, man, you're an absolute legend in the game. Thank you for coming on today, man. How are you?
I'm good, my brother. How y'all doing?
Now, Heather got all the hair you used to have.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When I had my dreads, she took it over from me.
Man, let me tell you. Hey, Bo, talk to me about comedy, man. You've been doing comedy how many years, bro?
Be 30 years in December.
How many?
30.
30 years. Bo P, you got to be more than 30 years in.
No, it'll be 30 years in December.
Dude, I know you were doing comedy 5 years before me.
I started comedy in 1993, December 22nd.
Yeah, that's more than 30 years.
That's-
No. Okay, so I don't meet you to 94.
Right.
So you wasn't but a year in when you moved to LA?
Yeah, that was it.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that is incredible.
Yeah.
So you're a Mississippi boy. You
Right.
pack up a year into comedy, and you go to the Bay first, and then LA.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do no comedy
how
in Mississippi.
scary was that?
I didn't do no comedy in Mississippi. I only started comedy when I lived in Oakland.
So what brought you to the Bay Area?
Looking for work. I was an electrician.
Okay, and
So
you still
Mississippi,
are an
I couldn't find
electrician.
no work. I couldn't find no work in Mississippi. I wanted to be in the electronics field. So I
Okay.
decided to move to, I thought I was moving closer to Silicon Valley, but I moved to Oakland, San Francisco area.
Dude, I remember you being the best comedian I'd ever seen.
Wow, Rodney, that's a lot saying from you.
But I ain't know shit either. Let me qualify that. No, man. But I mean, your character work, everything, and I think it's remarkable to have a skill too, because you went in. I mean, you've been to my home and done electrical work for me, man. You are still an electrician 30 years later.
I still love doing it.
Oh wow!
You know, Steve Harvey got 5 jobs. Just one of my jobs just happened to be construction with my hands. That's it.
Dude, I'm impressed.
Look.
You've wired some of the best comedy clubs in America.
Yeah. And also, I did some work for Walking Dead. You know, I've done, you name it, man. I've done scary prison and everything, man. Line work on putting poles in the ground, putting the wire in the air. I've done it all, man. I love it.
Really?
I love it, yeah.
I like the way you throw your hands up like it ain't shit.
Yeah,
You know what?
But Rodney, I was just talking to Rick Sullivan just the other day, man.
Wow.
And
Rick Sullivan, a Bay Area legend.
Rick, when I started comedy, Rick let me start hosting it 3 months. After I started comedy, I said, Rick, I don't know what I'm doing. He said, yeah, you know what you're doing. Just keep doing it. So I was hosting. That's why everybody thought I've been doing it longer, because Rick threw me right out there in the fire, like, you gonna host for my club.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was the end zone. Also on the show today, Heather J. Flat out funny. Heather, what's your origin story? Like, I know you're from Detroit, but who is your OG?
See, me and Bo had different origins. When I started comedy, it was after all the Comic Views and Def Jam years. So we had a lot of veterans in our city who had TV credits, you know, so they didn't really let us get nothing. You know, they wasn't letting us get the mic.
Really?
Like, y'all not funny or whatever. So yeah, nobody was giving us nothing at 3 months then. They made us work for all of it. So Mike Bonner is definitely somebody I consider an OG. Bonner always looked out.
Okay.
And he's just an incredible man, as everybody knows. And Kool-Aid, rest in peace, was
Rest
OG.
in peace to the great Kool-Aid, man.
Definitely looked out for us when we was New Jacks and whatnot. But honestly, if I really was to answer that question, honestly, I would say my OG for real is Will Sylvance.
Really?
And yeah, because he was my friend in New York. I would go to New York a lot when I was a new comic and get stage time. He always he
So you had to leave Detroit to go to New York to get stage time.
It was just, I mean, when I started, Will was my friend before I started comedy. So when I started, he was just telling me, like, he told me the game from day one. Like when I said, I think I want to do this, he was like, okay, well, these are the rules. And he was like, you got to get stage time as much as you can. You got to travel. You cannot stay in Detroit. You got to, you got to do this. You got to do that. And he gave me a lot of ethics. Like I said, I wasn't really able to get a lot in the beginning in Detroit because they were not trying to let us in. They just wasn't. We had to fight. We had to fight our way in.
Now, when you say us, who is your contemporaries? Who are your peers?
Mike Larry, who a lot of people know because he's a clean king, You know, the clean people all stick together.
Hey,
And
Mike Larry did a bit, Heather J. After Will Smith walked on stage, he was like, "Yeah, y'all keep walking on stage." And he pulled a gun on somebody.
Yeah.
It was so funny, man. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mike Larry is great. He's just his Judge Mathis has gone viral. Judge Mathis loves Mike Larry's Judge Mathis. It's just
hilarious.
CP is one of mine, one of my classmates, and Josh Adams,
nice.
also out of Detroit, is my classmates from Detroit. I don't know who those people will be in other cities. I feel like Ashima and I started around the same time.
Okay.
Her being in the South, because I remember when she used to come to Detroit a lot. I feel like me and her were kind of similar. I feel like me and Pretty Ricky started out. I feel like she was kind of a newer face when I was a newer face. Dale, so when I would go to New York, Khalees Hawkins, like they were new when I was new, or whatever. So I feel like we're all
now me and Bo P, we facially challenged. How you have a good face. You're a pretty girl. Is that an upside or a downside to a comment?
What kind of question is that?
No,
it's a good question because everybody know women are. You go on stage in female dress tonight and she thinks she all that. You can go straight dressed down and get a lot more.
That might not be true no more, Bo.
Oh, maybe right. Yeah. You may be right, Rodney, because I've never been a woman. I don't know.
The new girls are coming in so fine and so fly that it scares me because I'm like, we couldn't be fine. We had to wear sweatpants.
Yeah.
We had to put our hair up.
Why? I wasn't like that.
Because women are fantasy driven. So as long as a woman thinks she flyer than you, she can laugh at you.
Yeah.
It's just something aside.
Yeah.
That's why the big girls always got over in comedy, because even though a big girl take your man just as fast as anybody else can, in their mind, I'm sweeter than her, or she ain't, look, she's unattractive. But everybody allowed Samora to be pretty. Well, I feel like Samora took the quota, because I feel like Samora was the only one they were going to let be beautiful, and then they weren't going to let anybody else be.
Well, that's a double standard for comics too, who are big guys. Because
you're well can't over get away 6 foot. Am I right, Bo?
Huh?
You're well over 6 foot.
Yeah, 6'3".
And there is a discrimination of tall comedians.
Yeah. Really? Yeah, we can never get away with stuff that Kevin Hart, AJ Johnson used to get away with. I've been on the road with guys like that, and AJ Johnson, he could walk up to a woman and pretty much grab a booty, titties, anything he wanted to do, and they just laugh, "Quit, little boy, quit." And my big ass did that, they're going to try to lock me up or knock me out. Yeah.
You a threat.
Yeah.
You a threat.
Yeah.
hey, let's get into it, guys. Thank you. These are my co-hosts for today, Bo P. Barnes, an Apollo legend, and Heather J. She's out there. Heather is not only a comedian, but you're also a producer, a director. You make things happen.
Author. I have books.
You have books.
Yeah, I write.
Anybody that write a book get love from me. Let me tell you this little skinny ass book I wrote. This skinny ass book. But I'm proud of this little book, though. You know what I'm saying?
You wrote one, though.
What you talking about?
It's 115 pages. I love my little book. And we're gonna talk about that before we get off the air, Heather. Your whole body of work. But let's get to the question of the day.
All right.
The question of the day kind of leads from the conversation we just had about Heather and her attractiveness. Do beautiful people live an easier life? OP. Do beautiful people, male or female, live an easier life? I feel like the world gets out of the way of good-looking people.
I think they get a little more extra, attention because they're beautiful. Everybody want to be around beautiful people. It's just a known fact that beautiful people get a little bit more attention than ugly people. I mean, ugly people get a lot of attention, but it's negative attention.
But not wait, not even ugly. Just if you got a regular face. Like I don't consider myself not good looking, but I'm not good looking. Like
I don't want to be good looking.
I'm a regular faced it.
Yeah. No, you look it up with regular.
Just come in it. Fig has got a regular face, but he might be handsome to somebody.
Right.
Fig is handsome. This guy.
Yeah, he's light skinned. Like light skinned niggas always get a little bit of play,
No, not just because he.
But is that different from men and women? Heather J. Okay, Do you like handsome guys?
I'm a collector of beautiful men. That's my thing.
Is that really?
my stable is hotties.
Well, how's that working out for you?
I'm satisfied.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, stay right there, Heather J. Don't go nowhere.
I got a
What up,
question.
Pig?
Go ahead.
He just told us he was 6'3". He worked with his hands. He look a little light. You mean to tell me in 92 you wasn't fine? Because I'm getting fine ass vibes off you, Bo P. That's all over here like.
I was never fine. I've always been ugly. That's why my company name Ugly Boy.
Bo P, hold on. I was there, Bo P. You was cold as hell, nigga. You was cute as hell, nigga.
Hey, now I wardrobe. I put it together well. I ensembled well. That's all.
No, you identify as ugly, but you was a cute ass dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. I feel
Right, now, don't you ever call me cute again, man. Don't you ever call me cute again, man.
No,
respectfully.
but no, but Heather, like as a man, it almost ain't cool to be a cute ass dude. Like I played football with Shamar Moore, flag football. When I tell you Shamar Moore is handsome, he's a stunning ass dude. I'm serious.
He's stunning. He's stunning. That's
no homosexual. But Shamar Moore is gorgeous. Okay?
He is. It
is disrespectful. But he out there.
If he was a regular nigga, he'd be in my staple. That's my type.
So that's my question. He's the type of guy that you would lock down.
No, I didn't say lock down. I said have him
in your stable.
Yeah, no, it's not about no. Those are not the ones you lock down. Those are the ones you use to make other people feel bad about themselves.
So you wouldn't date Seal? You wouldn't date Seal then, huh?
Wait, what? Seal?
You wouldn't date Seal?
You mean the singer?
Yeah.
Y'all crazy. He's not a bad
she said she didn't even entertain that question.
No. Seal is also a mandingo. He got that's a type too. That's a type as well. Seal don't lose me with his complexion or his Africanism. That's dope. That's beautiful too. Seal lose me with them scratches on his face. That's where you lose. It's not the fact that he's chocolate winning too. You know what I'm saying? Me, it's not complexion for me. It's just fine. Fine. I dated a Punjabi Indian. He's fine.
Stay right there, Heather J.
Okay.
The question of the day: do beautiful people have an easier life? You are one of the beautiful people, Heather J.
I'm not one of the beautiful people. No, I'm not. No, you talking beautiful people. You talking about the what black men call exotics. Exotic chicks. They not. When you talk about different life, you talk in the black culture. If you mix with anything, and it's obvious. It's obvious. You know what I'm saying?
Heather J, your humbleness is appreciated. But you are definitely a beautiful person.
Somebody said Seal is a nice. He has a nice smile and he's not ugly.
We did not say.
All right, Natasha.
I think Seal is handsome too, because
I can see the handsomeness in here.
It's his tribe, so it's not. I think
I couldn't mess with that tribe. I couldn't mess with.
If Seal walked in the room and Shamar Moore walked in the room, which one gonna get the most looks?
Ladies.
But the fame. You got to check the fame though too.
Yeah.
The fame. What if you didn't know nothing about the fame? Just the person itself, nothing about the fame. If they walked in the room, who you think gonna get the most looks? Seal or Shamar Moore?
I'm gonna let Sis go first. Go ahead.
I think Shamar would get more looks just because he's
a beautiful person. Yeah. Goodness gracious, y'all can't say it.
I can't say he's beautiful. He's a man. No, he's ugly to me.
Let me tell you, I'm a heterosexual. I'm never gay.
Me either.
Okay.
Never gay.
But I ain't never seen a pretty man
Shamar
either.
Moore is gorgeous.
I ain't never seen a pretty man. I'm sorry.
I appreciate Rodney's
Candace.
I appreciate where you're coming from. I feel like Seal would get more love from white women, and I think Shamar Moore would get more love from black women.
Wow.
But I think they will both get an equal amount of love. Because like I said, Seal is not I mean, you saw who he married, Heidi Klum. She was one of the most beautiful women in the world. She could have had anybody she wanted. She wanted Seal. You know what I mean? So
but if
nobody's
you want
saying he
if
can't
you
get
want to
involved.
stand out, if you want to stand out, you're the prettiest woman in the world. You want to stand out. You want to get the ugliest nigga in the world. You really stand out.
But I think opposites attract too. I think that because she was so white, I think she saw the beauty in his blackness. You know, because he's not. Africans are a different kind
But
of black.
let's
than
not even
African-American.
factor white people in yet. Let's
just on the black side.
Just on the black side, Heather J.
You know how we act about mixed people. Shamar more half white. You know how we act about the light skinned.
Is your life easier because you're a beautiful person?
I'll say this: if I clean myself up, I have different experiences than if I just walk out the house not cleaned up. And I think that's what we all can agree on. Like if I don't feel like I'm a number, I feel like I'm a range. Okay. I feel like if I put some work into myself, I could be a little better. But if I don't, I could be a 5. I could be a 4 if I don't do nothing to myself. I could look like my daddy. I could look like I'm looking like right now.
Kevin Samuels, you were 2.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm just saying I could, I'm not sensitive like that, but I'm saying if I have a bad day, when I was in high school and I had braces and acne, it wasn't the same as when the braces came off. You know what I'm saying? So I think that attractive people get it. I had a friend when I was younger. She looked like J-Lo. Like she was like J-Lo level fine.
Wow.
And me and her would go places together, and I would see how she would get treated. And she definitely got better treatment up front. I'll say that. But I think eventually it wears off and it all ultimately goes down to inner beauty. So I've seen beautiful people get better treatment in the beginning and then get kicked to the curb. I've seen people who maybe weren't considered as fine get ignored at first and then eventually lifted up over time.
How about this, guys? I think it's also geographical. Like guys from the Midwest, perception of beauty is different than a guy from the West Coast, than a guy from Mississippi, than a guy from Texas. Like black men, I'm talking about. So, like, if you're a black dude in America, your perception of beauty is way different depending on your geography. I'm from the Midwest, so Heather J is like, you are 9, 10 in my world.
But in LA, I'm a 2. You heard?
In LA, you a strong. You might be a strong 6 or 7.
I don't even think.
You don't go that high in LA.
I don't know. You got the most
Shani is in Dallas. Shani is in Dallas, right? You know, a Dallas black dudes like white women.
Sonny, in Detroit, you would be winning in Detroit. All day. They would love you. They would love you.
Yeah.
Hey, Rodney.
Yes.
My company name is Ugly Boy, right? And my slogan is, it's okay to be cute, but ugly stands out.
Does it stand out?
Ugly stands out.
Okay, ladies.
It's okay to be cute, but ugly stands out.
Ugly stands out. Bo P, you just gave us a word.
I'm about to explain. So I'm in Miami one time doing a comedy show.
Okay.
After the show, there's a nightclub we go to. I'm in the nightclub. Miami got all beautiful people in there.
True.
All the people are beautiful in Miami, mostly. So I'm in there, and this lady walks in. She wasn't the prettiest thing in the room at all. No way, no kind of way. She was what a lot of people consider ugly. But to me, she was the prettiest woman in the room because everybody in the room wanted to see who she was.
Ain't nobody look like her.
Why was she there with these pretty people? They like, why does she think she's confident enough to be around all these pretty people?
Wow.
But she had the best spirit. She had the most confidence. She was clean. She was dressed nice and everything. And everybody wanted to see the ugly lady. They stopped looking at the pretty people and like, who is this ugly, well put together person coming through here?
Did she have body? Was she physically?
Yeah. She had everything a beautiful woman had. She just had that natural. She had that real strong African cheekbone type of look that a lot of people thought was ugly.
Oh yeah. I mean, as a people, somebody put it in the comments. I think it was Fig. Shout out to comedian Fig. Somebody said we programmed a certain kind of way because somebody else in the comments is talking about the Puerto Rican girls in New York, and my mother's Puerto Rican. And growing up, I I watched my mother get a certain kind of attention as well. But to me, it was like light skin privilege again,
Right
or whatever. So I see what you're talking about. I see what you're talking about. But I've been all over the world, so I've seen different types of beauty too, and I think that a lot of it depends on how you've exposed yourself, opened yourself up to beauty. Because I went to Bethlehem.
Is this idea that we're kicking around this morning? Is this based on our the effects of European standards of beauty on us as Black Americans?
From his personal experience.
Yeah, I think in the beginning it starts off like that, but I think by the time you grow up, you like what you like. You know what I'm saying? I think maybe when you're an adolescent, you might like what you think you're supposed to like, but then you know, like when you were in middle school, yeah, all the light skinned boys got the attention, all the light skinned girls. But then you grew up, and then somebody's like, "Wait, I don't like that. I want the chocolate girl, or I want the red, I want the ginger, or you know." I like a big boy.
So Heather J, when did you get hot? Like, what was your you said you were ugly duckling and you made a transformation.
Definitely.
When did you go from Heather to y'all see Heather?
Heather.
I didn't get no confidence until I was out of high school.
Really?
Yeah, I was about
your
18,
transformation
19.
come in college?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, because my mother was slim and my sister was slim. My mother was light. My sister looked like my mother. She's lighter than me. And my father was dark. So it was a lot of you Black, you know, like your daddy kind of things. And I was thicker. I was always thick like my grandmother, like a little more shapely. I had different hair than them. And I didn't fit in with my family. So I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until I got old enough to get away from them a little bit that I was able to get the kind of like, oh no,
attention.
Hey, there's Heather. And I was like, oh wait, no, I'm not, you gotta see my sister. I'm not the pretty one. And them being like, no. And I'm like, no, you know what I mean? So that was like a whole thing. But then I started going to New York and I started seeing how Puerto Ricans be brown. And I was like, wait a minute, ain't nothing wrong with me. But yeah, I was grown by then. Yeah, I was grown by then.
Ain't that something? I mean, it's crazy how that, like, our childhood affects us. I mean, I have a very similar story. My mother was fair, my sister was fair, and so looking at them, I was really in search of, you know, what this dark thing was, and I used to do a bit about this when Wesley Snipes stabbed Christopher Williams in the hand. It was over.
Not New Jack City.
New Jack City was the moment. I see my friend Kiki Richardson in the comments. Kiki, man love, man respect. Bo P, when did you go from that's Bo P to nigga? That's Bo P.
It was probably after I did Apollo.
So your fame did it for you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. People don't give Apollo credit. Apollo is real to Black folks.
It is.
I don't care what other show you did back in the day. Once you did Apollo, that shit, people was like, your family's like, oh, so you're really serious about comedy.
Mm-hmm. That's real.
Not my family. They still they didn't know I did Apollo.
All right, y'all. This is Rodney Perry. You're tuned in to Rodney Perry Live. I'm talking with my friends right now. I got Heather J. She's fine, but she didn't know it. The homie Bo P. Ugly Boy Productions. He made porn for 5 years in LA. I saw it. Ladies and gentlemen, Shanny Scott on air is in the building. We're going to take a break. We come back. We're going to be talking to Louis Stansel. Louis is a businessman. He puts together. He's my partner in crime. I do my improv workshop out of his studio, LS Studios. I want to talk to Louis about LS Studios and about the way he grew up, man. This guy's got a remarkable story. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Louis Stansel, Rodney Perry Live. Let's go!
Stand is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Is it okay to call you Mom?
Of course you can.
SM Marketing Communications is not only a marketing communications company. They also provide web content management, social media marketing, video and audio production, advertising, not-for-profit marketing management, and community outreach and engagement. Want to learn more about SM Marketing Communication? Call area code 314-339-7662. That's 314-339-7662. That's SM Marketing Communication.
We are back in full effect. It's your boy Rodney Perry. You're tuned in to Rodney Perry Live. My next guest, put my comedians in here. My next guest, I've been friends with this young man for the last probably 7-8 years. I met him on the set of a movie. Did not know we would be working together for the next 7-8 years. Welcome to the show, Mr. Louis Stansel.
Yo. What's up, Rodney?
What's up, Louis? How are you, buddy?
I'm blessed. What's
Man,
up,
thank
everybody?
you for agreeing to come on the show. Louis Stansel, he is the LS and LS Acting Studios. Louis, man, I wanted to talk to you for a number of reasons. One, I'm familiar with your story and I wanted to share it with my audience. You're the child of deaf parents.
Yeah. We call that CODA. And
CODA, what does that mean?
Child of deaf.
Yep, child of deaf adults. Yeah.
Oh, get out. Okay, so
And Louis, he wanted you on the show because he considered you ugly. So go ahead.
I got you.
Louis is a long way from ugly. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm laughing, because I know it's a joke.
Hey, how dope is that he know ain't no way you was talking to me?
Right.
Yeah, you know?
That's the irony of being good looking. I'm telling you, good looking people live a better life.
It's a light skin thing, Bo P. You know, we light skin.
Oh, there we go.
Which is another European trait. So, all right.
Yes, sir.
Albino people are light skinned too.
You're right. You know, depending on who you ask.
Don't even get me started. Don't get me started, Bo P. You breaking it down. Louis,
Yes, sir.
CODA, children of
Deaf
adults.
Yeah.
And I'm my buddy David Arnold does a joke.
I want to say shout out to CODA, the movie, because it won Best Picture at the Academy this year, 2022.
Really?
It did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear it for the slap.
It's like this, you know. Applause.
So man, do you lose a bit of your childhood having to help your parents?
I do, yeah. I tell my story all the time that I grew up at age 2-3 years old because I always had to be an interpreter for my parents. You know, like doctor's appointments to, you know, in school, everywhere. I always had to be an interpreter. So I learned language, you know, that wasn't intended for, you know, a 10-year-old.
Right.
At a young age. So yeah.
So
I had to live childhood too at the same time. You know what I mean?
Right. Man, I think it's so interesting, man, because for you to like now you teach actors.
Yeah.
You help people find their way on. So you are the ultimate communicator.
Yeah, absolutely. To even go further with that, I always tell actors it's about physical actions, right? So I didn't know the terminology until I got older and got into the craft, that if I'm 6, 7, 8 years old and I'm watching TV, I can't hear them talk to me, right? All I can hear is sounds. So if my mom or dad is calling out my name, I have to put my full attention on them to see what they're talking about. So something as simple as come here. That's what the words that they're saying. But on the inside, are they angry at me, or are they sneaking to say come here? Are they being like quiet, or are they happy, or like whatever is resonating on the inside? That's what the physical action is going to show.
Talk to me about LS Studios, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you made a pivot into this space so smooth. We lost your partner. He passed away a few years ago, and he had a company, and you could have easily folded, man, and you didn't, man. Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. So I own and found LS Acting Studios. LS Acting Studios is an acting school. Thank you, Rodney, for partnering up with me. It's been a journey. So we push out acting classes, improv classes led by Rodney Perry, screenwriting classes led by Lamont Farrell, and voiceover classes led by Reese Sweeney. We have a school downtown Atlanta, school that we recently opened up in Hollywood on Sunset Boulevard this past January. We teach virtual classes since the pandemic, and it's been rocking and rolling with Rodney and all of our other instructors. Yeah, we've been going good. We've been going strong. The goal in the next year or two is to open up in New York and London.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's dope, man. Take me back to the beginning, man. You started back in the day, you know, with you ever been to the mall? Speaking of beautiful people, I love the way these shows come together.
Yeah.
You ever been to the mall and somebody tell you your ass is gorgeous and that you need to come and for $800, you can too be you was with one of those companies.
I was
you was in charge of finding. You was the guy at the mall.
I was the guy at the mall. Yeah, I was the guy at the mall in Baltimore. It was a company, we won't mention the company yet right now. But that's how I got my start. Somebody approached me. I went to the school, paid a couple $1,000s that my grandmother just got the credit card in the mail a day before, and it was the right amount. So I knew it was designated for me. My grandmother could have said nah, but she did. And then investment turned out into this. So we paid, and then boom, what happened was the agency director was like, yo, work for the school. From there, I just asked questions. I was 15 at that time. I'm from Baltimore, so, I had a lot of friends that was on the wire. And, they brought me on board, and I told them I was working here. They was like, nah, that don't sound right. But they brought in agents and managers at that company. And I got signed to Abrams Artist Agency in New York City.
Which is a real agency.
Yeah. And not knowing, they represent celebrities and all that. As soon as I got signed in New York, I was going back and forth from Baltimore to New York like 2-3 times a week for auditions for commercials. And then that's when I took it more serious. I trained in New York City, and then I worked behind the scenes in casting and talent agency. And I really recognized that God was blessing my hand, helping other people more. So I helped out Deaf Talent by, casting calls and whatnot at ABC, Fox, all the big casting offices in New York. And then that's what spearheaded it.
Okay, so you have aspirations to be in front of the camera. Did you give up on your dream, or did you give way to another dream?
I did, give way to another dream. I started off as an actor, and then, started a company, and then the rest was history. I just enjoyed helping people more. Recognized that, I can always get back into acting if I wanted to, but I fell out of love with the process of it for myself as far as like auditioning. And I noticed every time I got a C-mail, I was like, because I was like excited to help other actors get put on. So I just released all my agents. I was signed in New York, LA, Atlanta. So I just let them know, like, I got to put a pause on this because, I'm starting a brand.
Yeah. You have gotten rich, lost everything, and gotten rich again.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Tell me about the wherewithal it takes to lose everything.
Yeah, I was depressed, man. 25, 26. So I was working for a talent agency. I was actually on set After Earth. I remember this. This is when, the idea of being a businessman started.
After Earth, Will Smith and Jaden Smith?
Yeah. And Pierce Austin. I got to give a shout out to him. That's Will Smith barber. We were sitting next to each other. He was like, yo, what books are you reading? And I was like, I'm reading scripts right now. He was like, yo, you need to read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, right? Of how you can make money while you're in Costa Rica. So I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm reading the book and I was like mind blown of, the fundamentals of it all. So I started a company called TMR. It started in New York City, where it was ideally just having actors meet agents, managers, and casting directors, but with a difference. It wasn't just actors, it was dancers and models as well. And because New York City is known for fashion, I brought in Wilhelmina models, Elite, Ford. So models was signing up like hotcakes for these classes, and dancers were signing up for like agencies called Block or agencies called Clear Talent Group. So with that being said, these talents signed up, and it was like $10, $15 for a workshop. It blew up. Then I took it to New York City. Then I opened up 3 more locations, Atlanta, Chicago, and New Orleans. And 2.5 years later, I was named one of the top 5 companies by the Hollywood Reporter. Shortly after that, 2 months, I was sued for $1 million.
Ouch.
Yes, sir. That's when I was shitting bricks, man. I was nervous. However, I had great mentors. They told me, don't be nervous. You got to get a lawyer. I lawyered up. And the rest from there, I was like, still in my mind, like, yo, I'm going through a lawsuit right now. There's a hater that's happening right now about my business, my brand. So God rewired me to come back to Atlanta. Well, I moved to Atlanta from LA at the time. I sold my company, but I won the case 7-8 months later.
Okay.
The case was squashed. But I'm living in Atlanta, and then that's when I met you, Rodney. Well, I met you prior to I came to Atlanta in 2016. We did products. 2017.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah. So we did products, and then as an actor at the time, and then came back and worked for a production company in Atlanta at that time. And I didn't even know that was just a door opener to get in Atlanta. My mind says like, yo, why the hell am I in Atlanta? Work for a production company. I just been named one of the top 5 companies by the Hollywood Reporter, but that's how God rewired things. Not knowing the show or the movie that we did, products, ended up being in a film festival in LA.
Yeah.
And I went to Dustin Felder, God rest his. So Dustin Felder acting school. And I was like, yo, I'm in Atlanta right now. I'm not really doing what I was doing. You saw me, because I met Dustin on After Earth. I met Dustin, in LA. We were sharing the same building together when we had our school. So God strategically placed us together. When I came back from the movie, what we did, I was like, yo, it's in a film festival. I was like, yo, I'm out here for this film festival. I'm in Atlanta. And he was like, yo, you should start my school in Atlanta. I'm like, what? I was like, yeah, you should start my school. I saw you grow your business. Why not? So we decided, and then the rest is history.
Wow, man. Today, we got a few minutes left. Today, LS Studios is thriving. You're in Atlanta. You're in LA, which is huge, coming off a pandemic. You survived the pandemic. What's next for LS, man?
Yes, sir. So hopefully we're going on the road, Rodney.
Hey, you know what? Can we share the idea? So the idea is to go to people. There are actors and people all over the country that don't have access, and so we're gonna bring the studio to them. We're gonna bring myself, Lewis, our script guy, our sound guy, and we're gonna go and be a vessel, a light, if you will.
LS, do in your line of work, have you noticed that pretty people get more work than ugly people?
That's a good question.
That is a great question, though. Nah,
so you suggest ugly people don't even come to the class?
You know what?
Save your money. Try to get you some surgery.
Move your nose.
Yeah.
But sometimes a unique face is an upside, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Well, one thing about it, Rodney, it wasn't so much of ugly and cute in Hollywood to me. It was the size. People don't realize a lot of people in Hollywood not over 5'6". Your leading man are sometimes 5'6" tall.
True.
You know, when you got a brother like me, 6'3", standing there, your lead man is 5'6", they ain't not going to book you against them. They're not going to put you up against him. They're not going to let. They're going to let him shine.
Unless it's a basketball episode, then they'll let you be the basketball player.
You need tall people. Yeah.
Or if it's a monster, they'll let you be the monster.
Yeah. You can be. Yeah. Boy, you about to say, LS?
No, I was saying that is true. You know, when it comes down to that, that's part of their decision making as producers, of like height. It could be skin tone, all that. Yeah,
because I had to do a screen test one time, and it was a movie with Eddie Murphy. Mm-hmm. And when I came in the room, they turned me around like, "Oh, he's too tall."
Eddie ain't gonna stand next to that big motherfucker.
Yeah.
So wait, Eddie is what? Eddie might be 5'10" generously, but he's probably closer to 5'9".
Yeah.
What's the best piece of advice for actors in general, Lewis?
Train. Yeah, that's the very first thing. You know, it eliminates my job though on set. But yeah, train.
Real quick, Lewis. You've been an acting coach to some dope people, man. Give me that list.
So Meek Mill, coach the entire cast on Charm City Kings, which is produced by Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Last year, recently, coach Pretty V on a new show called Rap Shit that Issa Rae pushed out. So that's congrats on her. And been working with Diddy on Revolt show all last year on pretty much all their projects. I brought you on, Rodney, on one of them. So been coaching some of their hosts for their shows, which is Rhapsody to Justin LeBoy. And upcoming, I'm going to be coaching one of the, musicians that's hot right now this year on Revolt show. So once that drops, I'll share with y'all.
Oh, wow. Hey, man, the man's name is Louis Stansel. He is the man, the legend of LS Studios. Thank you so much for coming on, Louis.
Absolutely. No doubt. Thank you.
You're the best, Louis.
Hey.
Keep it up, Louis.
Yes, sir.
Hey, thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Absolutely. Take care.
I got to come to that class in Atlanta, Rodney.
Huh?
I got to go to that class down in Atlanta.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure.
Y'all need to bring
I recommend that, especially for comedians to get some training. I studied with Tasha Smith over at T-Saw Acting Studios when she first started back in the day, and she helped me a lot. And I got tools I still use to this day as an actor. Shawnee Scott, it is time for the entertainment report.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I like that.
Yeah, the sound effects are coming.
Hey, one day at a time. This is day one. This is the first day of the show, guys. You guys are my first co-host, Heather J, Bo P. Man, this is great.
Hey,
we're making history.
Ugly people are moving on up there. Yes.
Hey, you got two of them on the show today, me and you.
Well, speaking of ugly people, I guess I probably shouldn't say against it that way, but David Letterman, he's coming out with his, I can't remember what season it is of My Guest Needs No Introduction. Well, on this season.
Oh, the Netflix show.
Yeah, on Netflix. So he has Will Smith, Cardi B, and a list of other people. So now Will taped this before the whole Oscar thing happened. But what's interesting about it is that in his interview, Will talks about his career possibly tanking.
Really?
He had no idea that the whole slap with Chris Rock was going to happen. So they didn't give out too much information. So you're going to have to check out Netflix so you can see everything.
Yeah, I read something that he had some type of premonition that his career was going to take a downturn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he talks about that with Dave. But this is before the Oscar thing ever happened. So that's interesting. But
let me ask my co-host is Heather Bo P. Going back, you're at the Oscars. You're Will Smith. You're the most famous guy in the world. What goes through your mind and goes, let me go slap the shit out of Chris Rock? Heather.
We are so dramatic. He did not slap the shit out of her.
No. Now, I don't know if this is true, but Chris Rock said he had a little feces in his pants.
Again, drama. You can look and see the way he hit. No, he didn't hit him that hard. I think it was more for just the effect of saying I'm gonna slap. I don't think he was really trying to hurt him. But I know it just sounds better to say he slapped the shit. You know what I mean? Like he didn't slap this shit out of nobody. We all done had the shit slapped out of us. We know what that feel like. We know how your face go from, you know, how your cheek or just we know that. We know that. Chris Rock's face
it wasn't that bad. Heather J said it wasn't that bad.
I mean, I really think if there's a category of most overinflated situations of the year, that is definitely like we are definitely that and Amber Heard and Johnny Depp is getting so blown out of proportion. Just like
they in court, so it ain't. It's real.
Okay, I do have. I'll talk about that. But you asked about Will Smith. According to what y'all saying, he had a premonition. So sometimes, you know, you can will yourself into bad behavior. If he was so sure it was going to happen, he might have just, what's that? The power of suggestion. You know what I mean? That's interesting to me that he was feeling this. But I think it's obvious to reasonable people that he's, you know, having some stress issues or whatever, and it just kind of all culminated. I don't think his career is tanked. No part of me think his career is tanked at all. And I think that interview when it dropped is going to be the most watched thing of the year.
Oh wow!
Because here's the thing: Will Smith can still if he still go play basketball, it's going viral. Like we still love Will. We let Michael Jackson. When we love you, we love you. We might be mad at you for a minute. We get over it.
We love you. That's very no true words that ever been spoken. Bo P, you on the stage at the Oscar doing your thing. You hosting the show, you killing. You do a joke about Will Smith, his lady. Is he coming up to have a chat with you?
No, not me. No. I'm gonna shoot. You know, I keep that thing in my pocket.
Wait a minute, you got a gun?
I'll keep it in my pocket. I'm finna shoot the shit out of it. No, man. Let me tell you something right now. I don't know.
I'm like, where's Oscar security? Somebody put out a gun at the Oscar.
But let me tell you something, Rodney. You've been married. I've been married. I am married. I mean, and when a woman is in your ass, there's no telling what you're gonna do. When your house is not in order from a man's perspective, your mind is not right. It's no telling what you may do. People don't understand, women don't understand the pressure that they put on men. Sometimes it's just a little smart mouth, just something they spray out of their mouth, and knowing he can't slap shit out of you because you're going to take him to prison and go to jail. But they'll say little sly things about you. You know what I mean? And women don't realize y'all say some little sly shit a lot of times. And we have to let it ride because we're men. But we be want to say something back. But if we say something back, now your feelings hurt. Now I'm an asshole. So just like I saw the interview, not the interview, but the video with Will, and they had the therapist in the house a year before all that happened. And he was saying, why you got that camera in my face? You talk, you know. And she like, see, I told you, we got problems. And that kind of stuff right there, man. You dealing with stuff like that, your mind is not right. So when somebody says something about your wife, he didn't slap Chris Rock. He was slapping Jada.
Ooh.
He was slapping Jada.
Oh.
See what I'm saying?
See that?
But Chris Rock just hadn't be standing up there at the time.
Well, according to Chris Rock, it was definitely him and not Jada.
I don't think he was slapping Jada. I think he was slapping America. Like I think he was slapping everybody that made a meme about him.
America.
I think he was slapping himself too.
Yeah, because he had gone viral so many times with so many jokes about him and August Alsina. It was just he had been the butt of he went from being the person that was literally untouchable to being the butt of several jokes.
Yes. Now, when your wife is out there telling people she having an affair with another man, man, come on, I'd have left then, man. See, this is where mind messed up at right there.
But she didn't say
she
it.
not only said that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. What's the Heather?
She's not the one that came out with it. The guy did.
But he knew what was going on.
But I'm just saying, nobody could have predicted. They worked on their marriage. They got through it. They forgave each other for each other's dirt that they had done, which we both know they both was doing their dirt. And they thought it was over. And then here come August. Hey, y'all, I fucked Jada. It was like, nigga, we passed this shit. And then all of a sudden, it blew the fuck up.
Is that what he said?
They had already dealt with it as a unit, and they were moving past it. And then August trying to sell records, which ironically didn't even work. He didn't. The album still. Nobody know one song off the album. All they know is you had sex with Jada Pinkett. That's what he's known for.
He didn't have no sale to be to have sex with Will.
I think
Whoa.
so too. I agree. I would have been more interested. I know I would have been more interested because I remember being like, oh, okay, so so they had affairs. Okay, they whatever.
I don't want none of that Jada Pinkett stuff myself. Chandy Scott, what else you got?
Oh yeah.
Well, Will's career actually isn't over. It's been released. The head of Sony said that they're going to move forward with Bad Boys 4, and Will Smith will star in it. So his career is not completely over. And
they could have kept Bad Boys 4 though. I wasn't really.
Well, they could have kept
Boy 3 wasn't bad.
3 for me.
Well, now as a man going to the theater now, I'm not looking at Will the same as a bad boy no more. I'm not looking at Will as a bad boy no more.
Okay, but again, but
that's because he's 60, dude.
I mean,
okay, first of all, exactly, he's a bad man. Now
he's a bad old man.
Second of all, in Bad Boys 3, the way Bad Boys 3 ended, you should have lost respect for Mike. What was it, Mike Lowry? You should have lost respect for him then. The man's son tried to kill him. You know?
Oh God.
Whole story fell apart. Whole universe fell apart.
Hard on Will with that situation because we watch people slap the mouth all the time on TV, and nobody is in an uproar about the Housewives, Love and Hip Hop, or these other soap operas.
But that ain't the same, Shani Scott.
It is the same. They on there really, really fighting.
Let me tell you something. All the Housewives slaps ain't nothing compared to the Will Smith slap.
It's still disrespectful. It's still disrespectful and out of line. That's my
no, I completely agree. It's disrespectful to slap up another grown man in the face. That is the worst thing you could do. I'd rather you punch me than slap me.
I mean, a woman too. The Oscars turned into a reality show. That's what happened. And
the Oscars, the ratings was low. Nobody was watching. People will watch the Oscars again. You know what I mean? It was more good came out of it, I think. This is the most interesting Chris Rock has been in a while.
Chris Rock might be
optimist.
I mean, it's a business.
Yeah, they're talking about having Chris Rock host the Oscars for 2023. So I mean,
yeah, he was off the table. Also, I really think it's interesting how so much of other things that got overlooked that night because of if Will Smith had not slapped Chris Rock, I believe Chris Rock will be in the hot seat right now because when Chris Rock introduced the winners of the award, he referred to the one guy as 3 white guys and Questlove. And one of those guys was not white, he was Asian. And he was very upset about that was a very racially insensitive in this climate. That was very not PC in this climate. And Asians don't win Oscars just like black people don't win Oscars. So it was a big deal for that man, just like it was a big deal for black people. So had Will Smith not distracted from that, I believe Chris Rock would be.
Hold on, Heather J, you telling me Chris Rock could have got slapped twice?
I'm just saying the guy was livid. He did an article in the Hollywood Reporter about it. It just didn't get any traction. I think that was going to come back and bite Chris later. I feel like you know how they'll wait a few years and be like, remember that time somebody did that? I think that one because what he planned it. He told them the day before he was going to do it, so it wasn't the heat of the moment. He only cared about Quest winning that Oscar. He didn't care about nobody else on that team. And he minimized whoever heard of winning the Oscar and your name not called. And he was just like, and 3 white guys. And that was very, very horrible what he did. It's just
hold on, but the man just got the shit slapped out of him. He wasn't right in the head either.
He wasn't right in the head.
But he planned it. He planned it the day, but he told them at the party the day before he was gonna do that. He told them, he said, if Quest wins, I'm gonna say Quest and 3 white guys. So it had nothing to do with the slap.
So the Asian dude should have been like, by the way, I'm not white.
That's what he said. The thing he was like, it was but he said, Will Smith was an asshole, don't get me wrong, but I'm more mad at Chris Rock because Chris Rock ruined our moment. Will Smith didn't ruin our moment. Chris Rock did. Because
Chris Rock just got hit in the face.
But if he planned to do it, that's what I'm saying. If he planned to do it, it was going to happen either way. He said the day before he was going to do it. So I don't know. That's what the man is saying.
Pretty
And I
people get all
believe
that kind of news, right? And ugly people don't get that kind of news.
that
We ain't
was
never
you
heard of
got
that.
you got to read all the articles, not just the ones about Will Smith. I read the ones about Chris Rock too, because I felt there was more to the story. I always felt there was more going on with them. I always felt like there was some more between Chris and Will than just that.
I love it. Hey, we're almost at the top of the hour. Heather J is in the building. A fabulous super comedian. Bo P is in the building. Hey, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna come back with more entertainment. We got more.
Oh, well, I was gonna seg into that. Speaking of that, the man that attacked Dave Chappelle, he's been interviewed by the New York Post, and he said the reason why he attacked Dave.
No, don't tell it.
Okay, we'll come back.
Let's take a break. And we come back, we're gonna find out the reason the man attacked Chris Rock, whatever who he attacked. You know what I mean? We're gonna take a break. We come back, we're gonna finish that up. And we're gonna get to know our co-hosts a little bit more at the top of the second hour. My name is Rodney Perry. You're tuned in to Rodney Perry Live. Man, but this is a fucking good show. I don't care what y'all say.
Want your book or music to be published? Skip the confusion and rejections from others. Let bepublished.org publish and promote your work for less. Bepublished.org handles it all, from cover design to worldwide distribution, with high quality and fast turnaround. You even keep rights and royalties.
Everything was perfect. You made my dream come true. My book and CD look so good.
Call 972-880-8316 now. Bepublished.org. 972-880-8316.
Get ready for America's #1 funny man. What? Hey. Make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, from LA to New York, Chicago to Mississippi, let's give it up for America's #1 funny man, Rodney.
What up, party people? It's your boy Rodney Perry. You're tuned in to Rodney Perry Live. How are you? So, at the top of the show, Shani, I want to go me full screen.
Okay.
Just me.
Right,
just for future reference. Thank you guys. Shani Scott is producing and co-hosting, putting it down. Shani Scott, you are Media 360. Do people know that?
360.
Media Room 360. And I'm colorblind, so I really couldn't see Room when I looked at the logo. Because
Room is in red, so that's why.
That shit is invisible to me.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Talk to me about Media Room 360, man, because I mean, you're so dynamic to me to start your own business and get it out there. You got shows, you got so much great stuff happening. Talk to me about that.
So Media Room 360 was born in 2017 when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So I worked in radio 28 years. This is year 28. 2016, I got diagnosed. 2017, I had to leave my corporate job, but they still wanted me to voice track because they said, listen, if you leave, we'll lose $2.8 million. And I said, wait a minute, is that because I was the brand manager, the public affairs director, and of course, on-air talent. I said, well, are you talking about my station will lose that or Shawnee Scott will lose that? And they said, no, that's all attached to you for first quarter, all of your endorsements. And we don't want to lose that. So can we work something out? I said, yeah, we worked this $2.8 million on top of what I'm already getting paid. So the company agreed to that. We got through the year, and at the end of the year, I made more money than I ever had in corporate radio. So I said, wait a minute, I'm never going back. Talk
about a blessing.
Let me figure some things out. So it started as a internet radio station. And I started coaching other people that wanted to get into radio because I started when I was 17, didn't have a coach, any no mentors or anything, and it was a rough start getting in. And then eventually I said, well, let's do something different. And I actually started doing lives like this in 2014 when I was at the station, but nobody was doing it. I was trying to get my other, radio people like, look, we need to do this. We need to do this. And like, nah, we good. Because nobody had ever got fired yet. But once
right.
started going through that, they were like, okay, Shawnee, let's work this out. And now Media Room is here. We are a streaming platform. We stream into over 40 million homes daily. But there's also a technical side to my company. So when you go to Walmart and you're checking out by yourself, my company puts those in. We put those POSs in, and then we're also working on I have a contract coming up with Dollar General because they want to add cameras to their individual checkout, their little POSs. So we do a couple things.
Get out of here, man. I think that is so dope, man. And I thank you for allowing me to partner with you on this show. I'm loving it. This is our first date. Can you believe it, Shannon Scott?
Yeah, it feels like a first date. Me and Uncle Rodney going to the
Uncle
park.
Rodney is in the building. My co-host today, this young lady is a great talent, and I didn't know her. And I know Detroiters. I know Detroit comics. I know Spanky Hayes and Joe Blunt and all my, Mike Bonner. Her name is Heather J. And sometimes when you meet a Heather J, throw her on the screen. Sometimes when you meet Heather J, you're like, how come I don't already know this lady? Because she was not just a talent. She was willing to give that thing to other comics and listen to them. We would do all these workshops on Clubhouse, and she would give great feedback. And I really judge comics not on their set all the time, but like their willingness to give the game. And you're absolutely that girl, Heather J. What is it about you that not only can share the game, but share it in such a way that a guy or a girl could be a better comedian?
I think it's my passion for comedy. Like I really be studying. I'm a terrible person to watch comedy with. I'm a terrible person. Because Rodney, you know how we do. We watch comedy like this. Ha, yeah, that's funny. That was good. Yeah. I see what he did right there. Call back. Oh yeah, let's go. Right. Like that's how we watch comedy. When other people are laughing and hollering, we're like, yeah. So I just think I spent, and I did come up in the city with killers, comedy killers. I was friends with killers. Like I said earlier, my mentor was a killer. You know what I mean? So I watched people. What up, Cheryl? People just rip. You know what I mean? So I'm watching like, okay, now I want to do that. And then I'm thinking about what I'm doing as a new jack, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So what? And being a mathematical person, being more of an analytical person, I deconstruct it and I tried to make it make sense.
Well, when is your birthday?
February 15th. I'm an Aquarius.
My wife is 15th, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the February babies are a little different.
Well, you Aquarius,
analytical. Boy. Yeah,
you have not been loved till you've been loved by an Aquarius woman.
I agree with that. I do agree with that. But so you trying to analyze, and it's an art, so it's creative, but it's like you're looking for the formula. Like, how do I do that? And I think in my quest to find my own voice and find my own funny, I just I started seeing the layers. Like it's the joke, there's the performance. It's the joke, the performance, the polish. It's the joke, the performance, the polish, the tags. You know what I mean? So over the years, you just kind of see it. And then I didn't want people to struggle the way I struggled with no direction. I felt like I had no direction my first few years in comedy. So I always help the new guys when I can.
Tell me about the day you was like, yo, I get it. Like, what was the aha moment for you?
Detroit is the blackest city in America. Okay. I was not considered a urban comic when I was new.
Ooh.
First of all, my name is Heather. There's just people think they know you. You go on stage, they think they know you. I don't, I kind of have, good diction or whatever. So this guy, you talk like a white girl, proper, whatever. Because I was coming out of corporate, like Shani. I was coming out of corporate when I started comedy. So I definitely had a corporate vibe on me. It's gone now, completely gone now. Like
corporate is gone.
Oh my God, I'm so like the fuck in the office. The fuck. If they asked me to work in the office day right now, I would be like, yeah, can we help you? Okay, whatever. What you talking about, girl? Bye. Like that was me. But back when I finished school and everything, and I was in corporate, I would have been like, hey, I was like corporate Heather. I had a briefcase, and yeah, it was a different person. So I didn't really fit in. And it was difficult because I am Black, but they was telling me I couldn't make Black people laugh. But I was like, how? I was raised in the ghetto. I'm Black. What are you talking about? I can't make Black people laugh. So it took a minute for me to find my my voice. So my aha moment was when I did White Club, and the jokes that wasn't working on the Black side destroyed on the white side. And I was like, oh wait, I got it. I just got to figure out how to do it over here now. You know what I mean? Because back in my, when I was coming up, we had two different sets. We had mainstream white sets, and then we had Black sets.
Right.
And now I would never encourage nobody. I would tell you to be the same comic. I would be like, don't do that shit. Just find the people that like you how you are, regardless of their race. But if you wanted to get work, you had to be able to work in the mainstream rooms.
Very true.
You couldn't. They used to say to us, Rodney. They used to say to us, don't be Def Jammy. We're not looking for Def Jam comics.
Very
or whatever.
true.
That was their way of letting us know, don't be like
black
that.
it up. Don't be blackity black.
So if you wanted the booking, if you wanted to work, you kind of had to be able to shift. And I always was able to do both or whatever. Yeah. So now I feel like I'm the same person. I brought my personalities together because it was hard juggling. And so now and two personas. So it was like on the white side I could be Heather, nobody cared. But on the Black side I had to be Heather J because Heather sounded like a white girl. You know what I mean? Heather J gave it a little more oomph or whatever. Right. So now I'm just Heather J. I don't care. That's what my mother named me. So, it's just and so it was difficult to find my voice in the beginning because I was writing jokes, hood jokes. I had jokes about dope dealers and crackheads, and then I would go over here and be like, "You ever been at work?" And
right.
So now I'm just me.
But I think what happens is your overall voice just gets stronger.
I think so.
Yeah.
And when I got out to California, I'm not afraid of nothing because I have made drug dealers laugh in Detroit and racists laugh in suburban Michigan. You know what I mean? Like, you think I'm scared of industry? No, you guys don't shoot people when they're not funny. Have you been to a show? Have you ever experienced somebody? That's what the thing we were talking about earlier. The thing I've been to comedy shows where comedians have not been done well, and they end up getting into a fight. Like I've seen that happen.
Oh, for sure.
So,
for sure.
It's like for us, when the comedians were getting all up in arms about Chris Rock, I was like, y'all act like y'all ain't never fought in a show before. Shut up. We didn't know I had a scrap over something we said on stage before, or almost had a scrap, or somebody really wanted
at the
to
very
fight
least seen it.
Right.
At the very least seen it.
Like somebody didn't like your little joke and now they mad for real. You know what I mean? Like, why y'all acting brand new?
What who is your female comedian that gave you the game, if any?
That's interesting. Yeah, we ain't had it.
Really? I mean, is it because so few comics in the D, or?
Shani D took me on the road with her when I was a year in comedy. She took me to New York with her. Actually, we took each other to New York because we both had plugs. Like I said, I had friends and plugs that connect and stuff too. So but she, she reached out on some like, hey, I'm a veteran, you're new, come to New York, or whatever with me.
Okay.
Comedian Coco, gave me some tidbits after I had been doing it for about 2 years. She would always advise us on our appearance and things that were important like that. But I just think that the way the game was set up, especially coming out of the Def Jam era. Because like y'all literally like Def Jam and Comic View made y'all celebrities overnight.
Yeah.
And it really did blow up Black comedy. And I just think that wherever there's success, wherever there's money, y'all were working all over. You know, I hear the stories about how y'all was getting all the
What
money.
year are we talking about for you? What years?
I started in 06.
Oh, so you're in the early. So that was an interesting time.
It was.
Because there's
Y'all
no
was eating, y'all
TV
was still
shows.
eating. The
There's no TV
TV is
shows.
done. The TV is completely done, but y'all was eating good off of the TV y'all had done.
But exactly. So what also happened is my group didn't graduate. The group, like, you used to do comedy and you would graduate to TV and or film. And so the group just before me, and we'll talk to Bo P in a minute, the group just before me kind of didn't graduate, which left a backlog with my group, which affected your group.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
It's still affecting us, like here in the 2022.
I absolutely agree. Yeah, because I can see that as well, because I can see some people that feel like they fell through the cracks, who feel deserving, who feel like they fell through the cracks. But at that time, like I said, they really wasn't letting us in. So wherever you see money and success, you see contention, you see jealousy, and you see cop blocking, and you see gatekeeping. And so I really feel like the women were not happy to see the new crop of women coming in. And so it just wasn't, when I would see like the way, when I compare myself to my guy contemporaries and the people and the guys that reached out to them versus the girls that reached out to me, I didn't really get it. I didn't really get it. And that was another reason why when I reached a certain level, I was like, I'm not going to be like that. I always take girls on the road with me. And I always reach back and try to help the girls or whatever, because I remember how it felt to be looking at other women comedians in the room and be like, why are you mad I'm here? Like me and you got more in common than me and these guys. But they worry about us talking about the same stuff. And that was happening. I remember one time I was in Atlanta. I love Atlanta comedy, by the way, because I always got a different kind of reaction. Dirty South, who is a veteran, who was somebody I watched on television when I was like in high school and college. She praised me so much when I got off the stage as a veteran and as a face I recognized from television. I will always love her for that, for that one night.
She don't get the credit of being as dope as she is.
She really, I agree. I feel like she's underrated as well, because she was definitely
she's one of the people that fell through the cracks.
You know what she made? I would agree with that. She definitely was in that Def Jam Comic View era. And when she praised me, it was so bizarre to me because I had never got that before, and I was just like, oh. But she was confident in herself. She knew her voice. She knew what she could do on stage. I wasn't a threat to her at all. And I just always appreciated those kind of being around the kind of people that don't see talent as a threat. I just want the show to be good. I don't care who's funny. I want us all, at the end of the night, we all take a bow. You know what I mean?
We all take a bow.
You know what I mean? So if you got to be the only one that's funny and everybody else got to be less funny than you, that's not an energy I ever want to be around. You know, but I know we got people like that in this business, but them never was my kind of people.
It is what it is. Hey, her name is Heather J. Heather J, stay right there. We'll come back to you in a second. I want to talk to Bo P.
All right.
When I was a Rudy Poot, you was one of them guys, man. As far as willingness to share the game, as far as slaying a room. Like, I seen you were the first comic I seen make a nigga get up and walk around his chair. Like, you see dude rip it so hard, the dude get up and walk around his chair. Like, dude, it would be unreal, Bo, what you would do to audiences, dog. Talk to me. Heather and I were just talking about that era, but you were a part of the folks that was right there. You know, Mark Curry, Cash was starting to get on TV, sitcoms. You was right there, man. Talk to me about being right there and what that era was. Because, I mean, Def Jam had happened, Comic View, Apollo, all that stuff was happening around that time.
Mark, Rodney, when they said fell through the crack, I fell through a hole.
Okay, tell me.
Just for example, I did Apollo. First time I did Apollo, I got booed then because I got booed because Mark Curry was hosting. and he came out. This is when Biggie and the Tupac thing was real big. And
East
first thing
Coast,
he
West
said
Coast
was,
beef.
yeah. So when he came out, he said, all the way from Oakland, California, and they started booing right then. They haven't even seen me, didn't know me from nobody. They hadn't seen me yet. It was booing when I walked out on stage. So the stage the manager said, if you stay out here 11 seconds, you get your whole pay. They booed for 1 minute. And I just stood there on stage holding the mic, looking for him to tell me to get off. I didn't say a word. When he said get off stage, I said, thank y'all. Y'all been saying boo all night. No. They said, no, we saying boo. I said, okay, I'm gone. And so that's one thing. Right.
Do you have footage of that?
Yeah. No, I don't have footage of that. They didn't give me
Oh, that would be crazy. Okay.
I tried to get it. But check this out. But they brought me back a year later. I did that. But
Okay.
I did Def Jam twice, right?
Okay.
I was managed by Stan Lathan and Russell Simmons.
Really?
I never got aired not one time on Def Jam. I got 2 standing ovation every time. I shot it in New York, I got a standing ovation. Did it in LA again, I got a standing ovation. You know what they told me? You're not a Def Jam act. You wait too long between your jokes. Or the people laughing so much, I can't just walk. You know, you talk not to step on your jokes.
Right.
So I mean, I did a joke, Martin. When I was doing Def Jam, I did a joke. Sometimes they laughed for a whole minute before they stopped and let me do the next joke. So they said, "You're not a Def Jam comic. You're not fast enough. You're a one night stand act." So I did it again in LA. Same situation. You're not a Def Jam act, man. You're a Comedy Central act. But they never got me on Comedy Central.
Oh,
Comedy
wow.
Central said I was too country and too raw. That's what Def Jam was, raw. But they said, no, you're not raw enough. You're too polished. And I just started comedy. I said, how am I polished? So that was another thing. And one more thing
I've been in some of those meetings where people was talking about you and they talking about they couldn't understand you. And I'm like, he talked like America. Black folks in America know what Bo P talking about.
Exactly.
You know,
They told me
Bernie Mac had that same problem.
Who that?
Bernie Mac.
Right.
Because they said they didn't understand him at first, and now he the most imitated comedian in the world. So man, you fall through the hole. How do you keep from losing your mind?
Man, because people still love what I do everywhere I go. People love my comedy. I still do comedy all the time, and just not on the big stages. No headliners let me out on the road with it. So that's one thing. I can't go on the road with any headliners that I let me out there.
Right.
So I just been the grace of God.
Because headliners know you motherfucker. You think you want to go out to Bo P?
Hey, Rodney, you heard it. I've heard it. Straight out of their mouths. I've heard it out of headliners' mouth. No, man, you can't go back on the road, man. You can't go back on the road.
Wow.
Hey. So, but check this out.
Okay.
Now, even though I didn't do Def Jam, I'm touring the country for Def Jam. Right? As a Def Jam artist. Yeah.
So you was on a tour.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And never aired.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I got the footage. But never aired, man. So I'm touring the country. I'm all the way in Cancun. Me and Mike F doing Def Jam too. We get arrested over there and everything. Russell Simmons got to bail us out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm Def Jam down, but people swear they saw me on Def Jam, man. People swear they saw me on Def Jam.
Oh, I got that many years, and I did the very last run of Def Jam. So I was on, but people was saying it before I was ever on.
Yeah.
Let's do this though, Bo P, because you got another distinction. There are people that say there would be no Madea without Bo P.
I've heard that too.
You were maybe the first one I saw in drag on television. There was a show on BET called The Blackberry Inn.
Nothing But a Woman.
Dude.
That's what it's called, Blackberry Inn, Nothing But a Woman.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Dude, first of all, how did they pitch that idea to you? And when do you start looking at Madea and be going, hey, I did that?
Well, I never did that, actually. Thought about me being Madea. I never looked at it like that. Where it happened, right? I went there to audition for just a role for one day player. And when I finished, they like, we got another role we think you'll be great at. And I'm like, what's that role? And they said, we want you to play this gay character. And I said, no, ain't no way in the hell I'm going to play a gay character. I said, I'm from Mississippi. My mom and dad are Baptist. My daddy a deacon. My mama a first lady in the church. They're not going to go for that. And so the supervisor of the show, she's like, let me talk to your mama. So she got on the phone with my mama. And she said, hey, your son is very talented. We got a great role for him. We think he's going to be big. He's going to be real good in this role. And my mom got back on the phone and said, didn't you go out there to work? I said, yes, ma'am. She said, then go to work. I said, what you mean? Said, play the role. Ain't you just acting? Just act. Like you do right here. Act crazy. That's how it happened right there. And I went from one day on the show to a regular player on the show. And, man, it was going good. We did the show. The rating wasn't good on BET at that time. But when we came on and did the Coming View, then we came out with Blackberry Inn right after Coming View, man, they called us, hey, our numbers are growing substantially. Both P's, Laurie Hayes, y'all got us on the map, right? So I'm doing the show. So I'm shooting the show about 3-4 weeks, right? And, you know, I never looked at the dailies or anything like that. So the show started coming on TV. But I'm working so much, I ain't seen it myself. I'm going home every night going to sleep. Because we shooting, you know, BET had no union. You just shot till you finished.
Yes, sir.
So the show was coming on, and I didn't know how I looked on TV, Rodney. I didn't know the character I was portraying. I didn't see it. Till when I was in the grocery store one day, and this little black boy, about 7 years old, with his mama, he turned around and said, Mama, ain't that faggot? And she said, don't call him no faggot. And then she looked at me and said, are you that faggot?
Wait a minute.
And man, I went home and found that TV, tried the remote, let me turn this show on, let me see what it. And when I saw it, and I said, damn, I can't let little boys in America see me like that. I don't want to portray that role no more. And I quit, Rodney. I quit, dog. We had 3 episodes left to do, and I quit. They said, if you quit, we can't do another season. We ain't got nobody to replace you. I said, I'm sorry. I said, but y'all can't write me in some kind of way to, like, I'm like the dude that be on that time. I ain't gay no more. I love women. I said, if y'all can't find a way for me to be a man, come back to a straight man on this show, I can't do it no more. I said, I don't want to portray that type of look to young boys. And I don't want to be conceived like that. I don't want to go around people thinking, because people thought I was gay, right?
Oh, wow.
People actually thought, I mean, I got called from the Santa Monica boys theater group. They want me to do a 52-city tour. And I said, my agent was like, I got you a 52-city tour with the Santa Monica men's theater. Okay. I'm like, cool. They want you to be a lead actor. Oh, cool. When they found out, I didn't know they were gay either. When they found out I wasn't gay, the guy said, you ain't gay? I said, no, I'm not gay. Do you have to be gay? He said, yeah, well, you're going to be uncomfortable on the road with a bunch of gay men if you're not gay. I said, you damn right. I'm not doing that. So we go from there, Rodney, to Miller Lite vibe with Magic Johnson, Quincy Jones, and Keenan Wayans. They're doing the Vibe TV show.
Yes.
So I'm doing a 32-city tour to introduce the new Vibe TV show coming on.
Okay.
I'm on 32 cities, right? So I'm supposed to be on the Vibe show. When it got down to be on the show, oh, he too country. We did, you know how they do the little marketing thing and see if his name and face is recognizable enough.
Right.
To you on that. Oh, nobody knows him. So I got kicked out of the Vibe thing.
Oh,
so
man.
I've been stopped on every level of making it big. Real big,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I live a comfortable life working what I'm doing, but I'm not on that big level. No way. No how.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I'm playing golf with Cat Williams. He's telling me every day, boy, I'm going to put you on the road, man. I got something for you. My wife's like, why do they keep telling you that? I'm here listening to them, and nobody's calling you to go on the road. I said, baby, they say that all the time. I said, but these are friends of mine.
Right.
I'm more personal friends with them than and we never talk about work. You know the people I hang out with. I never ask them where you going, what you doing. We just friends, and none of them ever take me on the road. You know who I know. I'm not gonna call no names.
Yes, sir.
None of them ever take me on the road with. So Bo P has always had to blaze his own path, as they say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And I have no problem with that.
Dude, I think you're one of the most generous people, man, and I won't give you no hollow promises because I'm not one of those guys. But I tell you what, if they ever shine that light on Rodney Perry, they gonna shine it on you too.
I appreciate that, Rodney. Same here, boy.
I ain't scared of no funny people. I put funny people on shows with me all the time.
Yes, sir.
So let me bring up Heather and Bo, man. two great chats today, man. Thank you guys for being my co-host today. The very first show, Heather J in the building. Very first show, Heather J.
I am so moved.
Man, huh?
I listening to Bo's story, I am so moved. I am just over here feeling all the feels for the brother right now. I done Googled the set. I watched the set while y'all was talking. You were sadly funny. I watched it on YouTube while you guys were talking. I looked for the Blackberry Inn, couldn't find it.
They hid that.
Yeah, they watched it on the
you
internet.
think about it, a lot of the comic views is hidden. You can't find comic view really more than 2 or 3 places in the world. Wow, man. You know what? We had these journeys, man. And, you know, I think as comedians, the fact that you still making people laugh, you know, and I try not to, I used to be a judge of comics, man. You know, no, so-and-so ain't funny or so-and-so didn't make it. But the reality is, if you don't know, you can't judge a man's journey until you know what he want. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, you come to my house and fix my electrical, you know, I'm like, this is a valuable human being to me.
They're going on the road the next day.
hey, you know what? How about this, guys? What are the words you live by?
That's a good question, bro.
What are the words you live by?
I live by my creed. My thing is every day is my favorite day. So if I don't get to see tomorrow, that's my worst day. So every day is my favorite day because I got another day to fight and win. So I don't care about what happened in my past. I don't look at that as, oh, woe is me. You never heard me, woe is me. I just keep moving on. Luckily I got faithful promoters around the country who still like my comedy and keep calling me. But I've never had a bad day right now. Every day is my best day, brother. Every
day is my best day. I love that. Yeah. I'm gonna adopt that. I love that. Heather J.
Love is free.
Love is free. Is it?
Love is free. It is an infinite resource. That is very true. Love is free. Love is free. The things God gave us, we never have to search for. Water and love, like like air. These are the things God gave us that we need to sustain ourselves. And the fact that love is just as accessible to us as oxygen is how we know we're supposed to be using it more. And I don't think we use it enough. I definitely think show business is devoid of acts of love and just kindness and the kind of mercy and grace we should be giving each other. So I at first I wanted to be an entertainer. Now I want to be a good human being that does comedy. You know what I mean? So that's my struggle. I wake up and I want to just be a good person. I want to do good works. I want to help people. I want to spread love. I want to be deserving of the things I ask God for. We ask God to make us famous. You know what I mean? Like, think about the things we ask God for.
Yeah.
There are people asking for food. We're asking for fame.
How dare us?
You know what I mean? And it's like, what is the payment? What is the payment for something, to ask for something so huge? Oh, I need 15,000 followers. You know what I mean? Do I though? You know what I mean? Do I though? Do I need
God, like, that's what you want to hit me up for? You can ask me for anything in the world.
There's people in the Ukraine. Y'all want to help the brothers in the Ukraine? So that's what I've been on since the pandemic. The pandemic changed everything because we ain't had no choice but to just lay in the bed and think about our lives. You know, and the kind of human beings that we were. And we saw the best of ourselves and the worst of ourselves during the pandemic. Yeah. And I just decided I wanted to. Entertainment is dope. I love it. It really is my passion. I've sacrificed so much for this, but being a loving person means more to me. And you know what? That's so funny that we're talking about. We both said that my last day is my worst day. Rest in peace, Marcus Combs.
Rest in peace, Marcus Combs, man.
Rest in peace,
when people die, when you look at Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. When you look at when people die and the impact, like just look at the impact between Kevin Samuels and Marcus Combs. Kevin was polarizing and anger and all this, and Marcus was nothing but love and all these stories of love and warmth and good times. And that's what you know, it's going to be your worst day, Bo. You're right. But what are the testimonials going to be? You know what I mean? Doesn't that matter? Doesn't that, you know, what are you leaving behind beyond money and your body of work? How did you make people feel?
Yeah.
When they think
How
of
did you
you,
make
how did
people
you make people
feel?
feel? You know.
I know what you're talking about. Rodney will tell you when I lived in LA, I had about 8, 9, 11 people sleeping on my living room floor, trying to help comics who moved to LA. And when they got to LA, people said that they could stay with them. But when they got there, man, they told me I could stay with them, but they wouldn't let me stay with them. So I just like, hey man, I ain't got nothing but I got room on my floor. If you want to sleep there. And he'll tell you I had 11 people at one time staying in my apartment.
I
Wow.
love those stories. I love that. That's the
And
good.
all
That's
of
the
them were
cool
comics.
thing.
All of them
That's
were
the cool
comics.
thing about you guys' generation. Godfrey tells stories about him and Leslie Jones and Viola Davis living in a building together, and those stories are really cool. Just to hear the camaraderie and just the love. But comedians are dope people. We just have an angry side.
But don't you find out? Did you find out like me when you start comedy? Your friends that you grew up with, all your friends around you, they still gonna be your friends. But when you get in comedy, this a family now.
Yeah.
You hang out
Yeah,
more with comics than you do your best friends and your
I
other.
think that I definitely think you lose. I think you lose touch. You grow in a different direction than the people you grew up with. You still love them; they still love
Yeah.
you. But it's you get like I notice when I get around people I grew up with, we don't have as much to talk about. Like
It's two
it's just
different
like
things. It's like they're regular people. It's like you're a superhero.
yeah,
It's like, nigga, you could fly. I mean, we cool, but you can fucking fly.
Right.
Yeah.
And they expect,
That
when you come around, you are the whole center of attention. Everybody wants to talk to you. They want to talk what you doing now. Hey man.
and that might not rub them all the right way too. You got some that's not gonna like that
Yeah.
as well. And you don't understand what the problem is because you just still being the same you always was.
You a superhero. You fucking can fly.
Right. So when
But
I'm around
you
my
saying
friends
that now,
in the
that's
comedy
funny.
business, I never talk about entertainment. I never talk about comedy. I don't try to show up and be all that. We just go fishing.
But what you can't affect is how they perceive you.
Exactly.
Because you cannot talk about it and it still be the center of attention.
Still be the center of attention. Yeah.
I agree with that.
But here are the words I live by, guys. Forget what you know. I talk to my daughter who runs track all the time. And track is a sport of absolutes, right? Everybody got a time, everybody got a personal best, and everybody knows your time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so sometime as an athlete, you have to forget everybody's time, including your own, and just go, because what you don't know is the day when somebody falls, or the day when somebody has an issue, or a day when so you have to forget everything you know and just be your best self in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that's the words I live by most recently. Man, all right. Let's bring my girl back on. Shani Scott, let's finish this entertainment.
All right. Oh, yeah. We got to go back to Dave Chappelle. This is a good one for you guys. 3 comedians here, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the young man that attacked Dave Chappelle on stage, we'll come to find out the gun was a fake, but it did have a knife. He never intended to hurt Dave. But what he wanted Dave to do is recognize that he was hurting an entire community, and it triggered him because this young man is bisexual. He's a single parent. He's a single father of a 5-year-old. He was also homeless, and he was molested when he was young.
What they got to do with Dave Chappelle?
That's a lot going on, though. That's just a lot, man. That's just a lot.
He said that Dave should speak to the community about what he wants to joke about first. So, as comedians, let me ask you all the questions.
Nobody doing that.
I don't check with my family about jokes.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let alone going out to the damn homeless shelter asking.
So how do you? I mean, how does one group of gay people? That's so ridiculous. That they're not a monolith either. That's like somebody saying, "Oh, you can do black jokes, but you got to ask all the black people." And then 3 black people say it's okay, but the rest of us like, no, it's not. Like, how do you even get a consensus? Because a whole lot of gay people not mad at Dave Chappelle, and a whole lot are. So
yeah.
But Rodney, you probably heard some. I've talked more. I've been the craziest talking person on stage. Jokes about Michael Jackson. I've done jokes about Martin Luther King. I've done jokes about Magic Johnson when he had AIDS and everything. And I I couldn't get away with it. They told me I was too raw and too dirty, but Dave do it in a way where they accept it. But I was saying the same exact content.
Now let me ask you this: have you ever did a joke that you wanted to take back? That you, like, for whatever reason, it was too personal or whatever. Have you ever did a joke you was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that? Bo.
Yeah, I did a joke about Martin Luther King, and I stopped doing it because I used to do this joke to Martin Coretta. Could you, what was it? They said, Coretta, I want you to lick my balls. Something I used to do. And man, it's people like, oh.
Come on now, Coretta. Come on now, Coretta, going down there. Take care of me.
I used to do that, man, and I stopped doing it. I used to love that joke. One of my favorite jokes. People used to love it. But the TV people like, oh no. So I like, man, hey, man. But one thing I learned though, man, like you say, is forget what you know. And I learned that in comedy is you never know what they're gonna laugh at. You got to throw it out there and find your lane and find what's you and find what you I was a country boy from Mississippi. So I had nobody to look up to. Wasn't nobody doing comedy coming out of Mississippi at the time that I knew. So I didn't have nobody to look up to and say, hey, that's where I want to be. I had to learn on the fly. So the first time I went in a comedy club, I got pulled up on stage that night by Linnell. Linnell pulled me up on stage that night.
Wow.
Act like I don't even exist. And like, hey, he looked good. He they like, man, go up there and tell some jokes. I said, man, I don't know what y'all doing in here. I ain't never been to a comedy club in my life.
Wow.
So I was in the audience and Andre Covington was hosting. And he like, that dude, that's funny. I talked to him outside. He's funny. And he need to be up here. And Linnell, crazy to see her, came pull me up on stage. And
Get out of here.
Talking. And that night, Rodney, while I was on stage, Sarah from Apollo, she was booking Apollo at the time, Sarah
Rainmaker?
Not Sarah Rainmaker. Another,
okay.
Yeah, it might have been Sarah Rainmaker booking Apollo at the time. But
anyway,
I
don't know.
It was a black lady.
Okay. No, that's somebody else I'm thinking about.
Stage, my first time on stage, I ain't never did it before in my life. I come off stage, the lady said, I want you to do Apollo. Now, out of all the comics she saw that night, she said, I want you to do Apollo. I said, man, this is my first time doing it. I don't know what I'm doing. I ain't gonna do this no more. She said, you got time. We don't take, this is January. No, this is December 23rd. She said, we don't take for a whole nother year. In December, you got time to practice. I swear to God. That's how it happened.
Wow. Heather J.
Yes, dear.
Any regrettable words? Anything that you said comedian, you like, I probably should have done that one.
No. No, I've okay, in my impetuous youth, I did some things that I'm not terribly proud of as a grown woman with children. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I did a joke. I mentioned earlier I had a friend that was a very beautiful woman that looked like J-Lo. She was shenanigans central. So she used to scam guys out of money.
Good for her.
And one of her scams was an abortion scam. And I wrote a joke about
She gonna have to show me that damn baby. Let me tell you something. I got a son now because I didn't believe my baby mama.
She used to hook up with guys and then be like, "Oh, I'm pregnant. I need money," and it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible thing, but I'm sorry, it's hilarious to me when I look back now.
If you pay your rent like that, that's 12 guys a year.
Yeah.
How much could she get?
I don't remember the hard numbers. It was a long time ago. It was a hard
abortion about 400.
The hard numbers is hilarious.
Yeah, I don't remember the hard numbers. I don't have the spreadsheets in front of me. But yeah, it wasn't no rent money. It was just more like a hustle. It was a hustle. Scammers are terrible people. We know this, but they exist, and everybody in the Black community knows somebody doing something they don't have no business doing, or whatever. And my rationale was, we laugh at dope dealers, we can laugh at all these other criminals. Why we can't laugh at my girl that's doing abortion scams? And I was the only one that felt that way. So, so the joke never really landed the way I wanted it to. And one time I did the joke, and it was a predominantly women crowd, and I thought that they would laugh because I know as women we all play games with men, and that's kind of how I presented it. Like, I mean, you scam for dinner, you scam for this. She was scamming, for $400 or whatever.
Yeah.
And this woman was like, "That that's awful. You terrible. And I was like, it wasn't me, it was her. Like, and it turned into like, no, wait. There was, and somebody was like, you killing babies. And I was like, there's no real baby. She wasn't
Ain't no
pregnant.
babies. Ain't no
There's
babies.
no babies.
It's a scam.
And that was like, I said, okay, this joke not working. But one day I'm gonna figure out how to make that joke work. Because I'm sorry, if I think about it today, I still laugh.
It still tickle you. I see it.
Now's a bad time to bring it up. You know, we're going through a little bit. They just got rid of the Roe versus Wade.
Yeah,
bring it up now. You better wait a little bit.
But see, my question to that is, how does that affect the scammers?
Ain't no baby.
How does the scammer change her game up in lieu of the new law? Oh.
Let me tell you something. You got to show Rodney Perry the baby.
Yeah. I wonder.
We need to get rid of this. No, we don't.
Well, that's what happened, Rodney. That's the whole joke. The joke is the scam was working fine, and she met a dude that wanted the baby.
Damn it.
That's the joke.
Now you got to manufacture a baby for real.
Or manufacture a miscarriage, or manufacture, you know what I'm saying? We got to manufacture something. So yeah, we had to manufacture
something. Down the stairs in front of him. Oh,
yeah, we had to lose a fake baby, and a baby. We had to lose an imaginary baby. But that's why it was funny to me when I thought, because you know how as a comedians we make ourselves laugh first, and then that's how we write our jokes.
Right.
So
right.
I was telling somebody the story. What happened was I was dating a guy, and he thought I was a really good person. He was like, "You're such a good person," and I was like, "No, I've done things, and I felt the need to purge." And I was like, "I used to help my friend." And he was laughing so hard when I finished the story. I was like, yo, that's funny. I could take that on stage because that's how we are. Right. And that was the funniest part of the story to me was the guy, that the joy, the pure joy that the guy had when he thought he was going to be a father. Wow. That's what was funny.
That was funny to you?
That's what was funny to me because I'm dark.
Yo, what up, y'all? My name is Rodney Perry. You tuned in to Rodney Perry Live. I'm kicking it this second hour of the show with my friends, man. Heather J, Bo P. Barnes in the building. I could have done this show with more comics, but I really wanted to get a chance to talk to y'all and unpack who you are. And this has been a great chat. Have y'all seen this? Fantasia has a book out.
That's not funny.
You know what, Heather J? That's kind of the response I was looking for, but
funny. I know what you're getting ready to say.
The woman that was noteworthy for having some struggles with reading is an author. I think it's awesome. Her and her husband. The book is called No Crowns in the Castle. Bo P. Fantasia is an author now. This is proof that people come full circle. Am I right?
Yeah. I was listening to the radio today, and it didn't have nothing to do with this story. But the guy was saying, kind of a person who can't read or write, how does he write a book?
Yeah.
You know, the other guy, he dictates and somebody else writes it down.
Yeah, that's what it was.
You know
she just dictated it.
I think it's very impressive also for her to do a book, you know what I mean, with knowing that she had a literacy problem in the past. Yeah.
I mean, hopefully she has had enough time to get the literacy together. I mean, that was a few years ago.
Well, I mean,
she did go back and get a GED. She did go back and get a GED.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know.
I mean, I dictated my book. So, I mean, I didn't physically sit down and write it with a pen and paper, or I didn't write it. I didn't type, you know. So there are ways to, I guess, to do it without doing it. All right, guys, last segment of the show. Before I do this, what do you guys got coming up? How do we find you? How do we be a part of your life? How do we follow you on social media? Bo P, you first.
Bo P. Barnes, man, right there at the bottom of the screen. You see, that's how you follow me on every platform. Coming up, man, finishing up a sitcom, shooting with DC Curry. We about to start finishing the last couple episodes of that. Also going back on the road. I'll be out of town in Columbia, South Carolina for Memorial Day. Memorial Day weekend. Just steady working, man. You know, I'm always at Uptown here in Atlanta. I'm always in Uptown doing something. You know, I got a podcast studio over there. We do shows over there, podcasts with.
Bro.
Nigga froze on podcast. All right.
Yeah.
It's the last 10 minutes. So.
Yo, he was doing so good. Oh, there you go. Heather J, how do we stay in touch?
Okay, there you go. At Heather J AYH on all social media platforms. Let's get some Instagram followers going, guys. I followed everybody on the show. Yeah, I followed you back, Shani. I followed Bo. I'm really honored to have met you today, Bo. It was good. It was good. I'll be at the Laugh Factory all weekend, except for Saturday and Sunday. I'll be at the Laugh Factory. Friday, I'm doing my first clean show in LA. My very first clean show. My first church show in LA. Those are always.
You never did a clean show before?
Oh yeah, I've done them.
Not in LA.
Preference.
Oh, not
yeah,
in
this
LA.
is my first one out here.
So how can people watch this show?
Shani, that's a great question. How do people see us?
Oh, they can see us everywhere. So if they have Roku, Apple TV, or Amazon Fire, they can watch it on their TV in their home. On your phone, your Android or your iPhone, if you have Google Play or the iOS, you can download the Media Room 360 app. And then you can also watch us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Wow, you might well have your own broadcast network. But we look up, it's looked up on the Media Room 360.
Media Room 360, yep.
Okay.
That's the goal.
It's streaming.
Broadcasting network.
Hey, Rodney, I want to say, man, I'm proud of what you're doing. You and
don't be proud yet. It ain't over, Bo P. Stay right there. Last segment of the day. Ask Uncle Rodney. People hit us up, ask questions. How do you ask Uncle Rodney a question, Shani D? Shani Scott on air. I'm sorry. That's Shani D is somebody else.
Yeah. But I know who he's talking about. You can email your letters to rodneyperrylive@gmail.com and Uncle Rodney will help you with some advice.
I'm gonna do my best.
It's gonna be so much fun.
I'm gonna do my best.
That's so much fun.
All right, go ahead, Shannon. What we got today?
Okay. Dear Uncle Rodney, I am a 35-year-old man and I have been with my lady for 4 years now. It's been a great relationship and I love her very much. There are a few things I want to get in place before I propose, but we got a surprise recently that has changed some things for me in our relationship. She recently told me she's pregnant, and while I should be happy, just like any man would be, I am not an ordinary man. You see, before I became Jonathan, I was Sandra. I fully transitioned when I was 23, and while my penis is functional, I do not produce sperm. I'm hurt, and I don't know what to do or say next, since I could not possibly be the father of the child she's carrying. Should I cut my losses and end the relationship, or tell her about my past and see where it goes from there?
Oh, God. I can't unpack all that in 9 minutes. Heather J, give me your 30 seconds on what this person need to do.
Tell people you a trans man when you date them so that they can lie better. Because obviously she didn't lie. She lied because she thought if she ain't know, if she didn't know you was born a woman, she wouldn't even waste her time with that lie. She'd have told a different lie.
Why is the young lady your friend that used to scam back in the day?
It's the same girl. It's the same girl. Ain't no baby.
Ain't no baby.
Go here. Go here to hot beat.
Bo P, 30 seconds. What does she need to do? What he need to do?
Run. Both of y'all.
I mean,
you need to run.
Hey,
your balls. He need to run till his balls drop again. That's what he needed to do.
Again?
That's why he ain't got no sperm. His ball done went up too high.
Oh God. Okay, here goes. Uncle Rodney says this. Y'all both are lying sacks of shit. So how about this? Y'all belong together. You need to come clean, tell him who you are, and that we not having no baby. And if we are, we gonna love this baby because it belongs to somebody else.
And he still got to pay his share of the child support.
We definitely need him. Tell him we got
to kick in.
We got a baby. Well, is there a baby?
Well, she
Well,
said
it seemed like she cheated. Yeah, it seemed like she cheated and she's trying to pass the baby off.
I'm not that baby's pappy.
I have a question about the working penis part. I have so many questions. I have questions. I
don't know if they can get it to. I mean, from what I understand, you can create a penis, and it can be pretty, But I don't know about maintaining an erection.
That's the part that confuses me. And there's obviously no ejaculation. So the whole thing that men do when they go, like that's not there.
Whoa. Who do that? Who make that sound? Who does that
part?
I never made that noise.
I have questions. I need a safe space to ask because I'm not trying to offend nobody's group. I'm not Dave Chappelle. I'm not taking any LGBTQs.
We're gonna all stop right now.
We need the straighties need. The straighties need a safe space forum where we can just ask dumbass questions that are smart to us that are dumb to them. Like, but how? Like, we just need a place we can be like, but how? And break it down. We need Schoolhouse Rock for LGBTQ.
Hilarious.
Yeah, we do.
I
think
this is a penis.
All right, y'all. Enough about penises. The name of the show is Rodney Perry. This is Rodney Perry Live. Thank you to my guests, Mr. Bobby Barnes, Ms. Heather J, Shiny Scott on air. Always keeping a brother down. Tomorrow, special guest, Miss Kiki Richardson. She has a book called The Other Woman's Code of Conduct. Kiki Richardson will be on the show tomorrow.
Like Steve Harvey, think like a woman. Think like a man. That like Steve Harvey, think like a man, act like a woman.
She's saying how to be a
got to tune in, Bo P. My co-host tomorrow, Mr. Anthony A.D. Dimmer and JP Justice out of New York City. And you guys have been great. That is our show for today. Love you guys. Thank you for coming on, Bo P, Heather J. I love you. Appreciate y'all. Very first show. I will never forget you guys. Till next time.
Congratulations, Rodney.
Congratulations, Shanny and Rodney. Good job, man. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Get ready for America's #1 funny man. What? Make some noise. Ladies and gentlemen, from LA to New York, Chicago to Mississippi, let's give it up for America's #1 funny man, Rodney.